What's up, Middle Georgia Dog Pound? Welcome to another edition of the Middle Georgia Dog Pound Live. I'm your host, Brian, Matt, Kevin. What's up, fellas?
What's up, brother?
How we doing, man?
We are struggling. We are on the struggle bus. All six tires are flat on the struggle bus, and they are just flopping along. But we are here nonetheless, and we're going to make the best of it. We are definitely running into some technical difficulties tonight, but you know what? Sometimes that happens, and but we're gonna make the best of it and try to make this thing run nonetheless. But guys, big win in the bins, man. It was a lot of fun. Got to experience it with Dad, and so a lot of fun being there, and a lot of things to talk about. While I'm still working on this, why don't you guys talk a little bit about what your takeaways from the game was, and then maybe I can figure out what's going on with this system.
Yeah.
So
I
we'll
think,
just go ahead.
Matt, go ahead, buddy.
I was gonna say this is our impression of the Florida State program right now. How it's just off the rails. So it's no worries. It's just our interpretation of what they're seeing behind the scenes of their university. But yeah. So I mean, first start out of the quarter, being first game. We were kind of a little bit hesitant of what we were seeing, but things worked out in the end. We saw a lot of good stuff coming out of the game. Some good things, some things we think we need to work on. Of course, we're our dog fans, and we like being our armchair quarterbacks, and we like to pretend that we know more than those guys on the sidelines do. So I do have a few things I was looking at, and I'll go over here in a little bit, but had some things I call my nitpicks. And just nitpicking on little small stuff that we probably shouldn't even worry about, but still things I saw and looked at. And so it may start some good conversation. And there are also some big wins we have too as well. So I'll let you go ahead and get started, Kevin.
Yeah, I just reiterate what you were saying, Matt, but I think we're our worst critics sometimes. But, I think the first half just kind of started off kind of humdrum, and I don't know whether they were it looked like they were playing real tight, very conservative offensive play call, and I don't know whether that was just because he could see them playing really tight. I mean, Beck missed a lot of open passes that you wouldn't think that he would miss at this point in his career. But as the game went along, it just kind of looked like they loosened up, and things just started clicking, especially in that second half. To start the second half, they came out. It looked like they were firing all cylinders. They got a little tune up in the locker room, you might say. But yeah, I mean basically our big. I think one of the big things that I'm trying to think of is our rookie running back. He kind of turned some heads. Then what's the guy? I'm having a brain fart. The guy we got from Vanderbilt, Matt.
Yeah, Humphreys.
Yes, thank you, Humphreys. When he caught that pass and ran it into the end zone, I swore I saw Lad McConkey out there on the field. That's who it reminds me of. I text Brian and Dad at that moment, and I was like, "Was that Lad McConkey? Did we get him back?" That's what he reminded me of. But yeah, that was just a few little tidbits that I can think of right off the top of my head of some good things that I saw.
Yeah, and I agree with you, man. Right, looking at, I mean, I would say no one's going to be Lad McConkey. The best thing about Lad was not that his ability to shake and bake and get guys around and his speed, but his route running ability got him open all the time. So yes, the new guy, Humphreys has some speed, some top out speed that we're going to appreciate a lot. But is he going to be a replacement of Lad? I don't think so by far. Not right now. I mean, until these guys start getting open and making their cuts on these dimes and just breaking the ankles of these cornerbacks, we'll have to see. That is to be seen. But I would say some of the big wins for me, the linebacker core. Those guys were balling out this entire game. I got four here that I really wanted to talk about for a second. Got to start off with the guy who just completely dominated, which was Walker. It took him about a quarter to get ready, but then he just put on a show. He was terrorizing that quarterback and running back all game long. Then we had the sophomores who really coming on this year. So our three sophomores, the two Wilson boys, we got Raylan Wilson and Damon Wilson. Those two guys really were flying all over the ball. Definitely with number 5, Raylan Wilson, he had such a huge leap from last year playing to this year. It's really incredible. And then Allen was always very dependable. He's going to step into a leadership role there. But I'm telling you right now, I was super surprised. I'll say right now, my biggest surprise, Munden played to the expectation we have had for him for the last 2 years. So maybe he's finally healthy, and we're seeing the speed, and we're seeing him reading the plays right and not getting caught up in the wrong lanes. And so it was really impressive to see him really come out and play really well. The kicking game, what can we say? We got the guy hitting 55-yarder, and our punter still continues a streak of no return punts. I mean, he's kicking that ball high up there. I would like to hear Brian's intake on that on those kicks. I feel like those balls were in the air for 10 seconds sometimes. It was there forever on the inside dome. So I would like to hear that back. But yeah, the receivers have speed. That's a great thing with not only with Arian with his speed, but Humphreys, like you're saying. Just those guys have that. Love it, super speed. The thing is, can these guys get open? Can we get them into space is the main thing. Now, some of my nitpicks. I know you're probably tired of hearing me already talk, but my nitpicks, right? These are things that are not that big of a deal, but I'm gonna be a little bit of that guy. So,
well, I'm at where we can run the highlights if you want me to run the highlights.
I like it.
That half is over with. We win the next moment. Does everybody understand that? That half is over with. We got the ball first. We get to set a tone right now by what we do offensively. This is going to be a war. Nobody said it's going to be easy. This is going to be a war. We win by taking the ball away on defense. We win by dominating the line of scrimmage on offense. Whatever's behind that door, the front door's getting kicked in.
It's what kind of attack? What kind of attack? It's a front door attack. That's what kind of game it is.
Yeah. It's one of them games.
Let's go. Physical front door attack. Let's go. Body blows. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Ah! Let's go. Physical front door attack. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Jaw set, ready to go. And now it's here. Now it's time to go. Let it loose. Let it loose. And leave no doubt.
Front door mentality. Ain't going on the back.
Front door attack from the very beginning. Front door. Knock, knock. We here. Let's go.
About that time. About that time.
Caught on a spinning move in the end zone. Touchdown, Jordan. Let's go! Goes in straight ahead, standing up. Touchdown, Jordan. I smell a sack.
Walker.
Just ate up every option right there.
30, 20, far sideline, 10, collision, touchdown. Intercept that thing. Oh my goodness. Malachi Starks with a brilliant interception. Wow.
Well, Dogs a chance right now just to blow the roof off the bins.
Pylon, touchdown, Cash Jones.
Give me my money!
Good stuff, man. That was a lot of fun. I can honestly say that the Clemson fans came in very, very confident, and they thought they were going to show us something. And the fact that we went into halftime 6-0, they thought they had something for us, and then we come back out and punch them in the face, and that's exactly what we needed to do. I will say that they were not confident in their kicking program. Their field goal kicker is a true freshman. Apparently, there had been battles up until like the week before of who they were going to have as the field goal kicker. So for them to name the true freshman, no one had any confidence of anything longer than 30 yards. So not that they got an opportunity to kick anything longer than that, but the other thing that their punter was not very good, as you could see. I think he had like a 30-yard kick at one point. But when our punter got out there, they were like, "Where can we get one of those?" I said, "Australia."
That's right.
Anyway, any other thoughts on the game, guys?
I'm kind of reiterate that, I'm very impressed with our defense. You think about, they held them to no points the whole first half. I mean, it's kind of a defensive battle the entire game, or at least the first half. I thought we were going to have a repeat of the 21 game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was looking to see if we had any comments on here. John Akaki says the defense was super fast, fastest in America. Yeah, the defense did look good. But I got to tell y'all, I got to thinking about this. I'm going to tell you, Clemson is probably going to win every one of their games for the rest of the season. And if you guys don't think that, you need to look at their schedule because there is nobody that they're playing that can beat them for the rest of the season. Clemson's defense will carry them through the rest of the season and give the offense time to adapt and get ready. And we will most likely we'll see them again in the playoffs if we can make it through our gauntlet.
Do we see the same quarterback?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think they have anybody else, to be honest with you.
No.
Okay. Just curious.
He made some good throws. I mean, that throw that Malachi Starks picked off, I mean, that was a great throw. It's just you got an All-American corner there that did something unworldly and jumped up there and jumped into the ceiling and stole the thing. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that just goes back to. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was going to say,
No.
Hunter Ivey, UGA put everyone on notice. It says a lot that you're a 13.5 point favorite, and in the end, you win by 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean, it just goes to the defense. Back to just giving praise more to the defense there. That Malachi Stark was our starting, safety, and he spent majority of his time playing that star position throughout the game. So that just shows you he's going to be able to play multiple positions, and so which gives us the really good freedom to be able to change our defense to set up for certain personnel when it comes to teams in the future. So if we have players that we need him to cover, he can come off that safety position. He can play that star position and cover that player for us. And we have people back there we trust to play safety. So that's a really encouraging thing as we look, as we go down the road and worried about matchups and stuff, because we have a defense that can move around. You looked at a lot of the game, we didn't play three big defensive linemen across the line. A lot of time I was watching, we had a bunch of guys standing up. I mean, there are a lot of times in third and second and long and third stuff, we had one big 300-pound guy there. The rest of them were defensive ends or outside linebackers there playing. We didn't play a lot of big, heavy, big stout guys on the defensive line. So that's the thing. Is one of the reasons why we look so fast. And people don't need to get all bent in shape about these sacks and stuff. Don't worry about that. We put pressure on that guy the entire time. He wasn't able to put his foot down and throw into balls. And that's kind of what we saw. Some of these passes that he threw short or threw over heads or didn't have a chance to really throw because they were in his face and he got scared and ran. That's going to happen more and more.
Totally agree. Well, guys, it doesn't look like my technical difficulties are going to resolve themselves, but we'll do the best we can and try to make this thing work for the rest of the night. But I do apologize to everybody that's on tonight. I had no idea we were going to run into these issues. Everything worked fine the last night when I set it up, but hey, we're at a point now where we can we move into our next segment. If you guys don't mind, we'll jump into Paul's calls. This is an ode to Paul Petresco, our good friend and retired SEC official. Sends out a few videos to me every week to keep us up to date on the latest questionable calls, and so I've just got a few that we'll run here, and maybe we could discuss them a little bit and answer any questions that people might have.
Our first play this week, we're snapping at the 6 going in. The quarterback's flushed out of the pocket. He gets outside the tackle box and he throws the ball away, but there's no receiver in the area. But since there's no question the quarterback is outside the tackle box, we know that he just needs to get the ball across the neutral zone, and it would not be a foul for intentional grounding, even if there's no receiver in the area. So initially, the referee puts the marker down for intentional grounding, judging that the ball did not cross the neutral zone. As we go back and take a look, the ball crosses the boundary, and it's very tight as to if it's beyond or behind the neutral zone. But the rule states it is not grounding if the passer is or has been outside the tackle box and throws the ball so it crosses or lands beyond the neutral zone, or, and the key words here, the neutral zone extended. And clearly, as we follow the ball in flight here, it goes beyond the neutral zone extended. So the quarterback meets the requirements to avoid grounding, being outside the tackle box and getting the ball beyond the neutral zone. So the referee stops the game, discusses with the crew, and is going to make the correction that there's no foul here for intentional grounding.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I don't know about you guys. I had no idea that the line of scrimmage there, the neutral zone extended out into the stands. So that's a new one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll roll on with the next one here.
Play 2, we're late in the game, and we've got a big 4th and 1 situation. The quarterback takes the snap, rolls right, finally decides to run for the first down. Now, he's going to be marked short of the line to gain, but we see multiple flags come down, and we're going to get an announcement from our referee.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, late hit, with targeting. Number 7, defense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct foul, defense, number 7. Both penalties will be enforced. The rule on field targeting is under further review.
As noted here, since both fouls are dead ball fouls, both will be enforced, but we must first deal with the targeting. And as you can see from the replay, even though the quarterback is defenseless, our best view shows the defender's head is down but misses the head or neck area of the runner, and the right arm of the tackler goes into the shoulder of the quarterback. Now, the quarterback's helmet is joggled loose when it hits the ground, but this is a good job of removing the targeting. But the late hit and unsportsmanlike conduct by the defense will still be penalized. But here's the key. When the quarterback was ruled down short of the line to gain, the offensive series is over. And even though we will enforce the 2 15-yard penalties against the defense, it will be the defense's team's ball, 1st and 10, 30 yards back. and will not extend the drive of the offense. Once the series is over for the offense, it will be the defense's ball regardless of dead ball fouls.
So that one right there, that one confused me. Not so much about the fact that the penalty was after the fourth down, right? And so the ball had transferred sides. The thing that confused me was I thought that the player should have been ejected because of the 2 personal fouls. But what's your thoughts on that?
It's only ejection if it's counted as targeting, though, not personal foul. I think you got to get 2 personal fouls to be ejected, right?
But wasn't that 2 personal fouls?
That was my question.
I think they're separate players they're calling personal fouls against, weren't they?
The guy hit. He came in with a late hit, and then he threw his helmet off because he was angry. So that was an unsportsmanlike. I guess unsportsmanlike is not a personal foul.
I guess not.
I don't know, but that was my question. I asked Paul about it, and he was saying that one was a personal foul and the other one was not. So that's why he wasn't ejected.
It's the unsportsmanlike is not a personal foul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is like if somebody's going to like it's fourth down and they're throwing a ball and like the guy catches the ball, you should be all kinds of crazy on him and get the ball out of his hands because if he doesn't make it, it doesn't matter the penalty. You get the ball back no matter what. So you just got to go back a little further. That they're saying right because it was fourth down, the turns over on downs. That's weird. You would think they would extend the play, extend the series.
Yep. All right, I got one more video.
Our last play this week, we see that the quarterback, he drops back, he's going to throw deep into the end zone, and the receiver makes a great catch for a touchdown. Now, our officials have not been overly technical on celebration issues, especially if a player celebrates with teammates. But this is about the limit allowed with dancing. But then we see number 2, he's going to direct a taunting action at an opponent. And there's no latitude for any taunting action. That is unsportsmanlike conduct. And also by rule, if a player simulates firing a weapon, it is an automatic unsportsmanlike conduct foul. And so this was a correct call and a needed call for unsportsmanlike conduct against number 2 of the offense. And this penalty may be enforced 15 yards on the extra point or on the succeeding kickoff at the option of the defense.
Personally, I think he should have been ejected.
Yeah, I don't think you got any argument from me on that one.
Well, they're just this is where they're allowing. They're allowing this stuff. Eventually, these kids are going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, until you stop it. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. It looks like what we used to have the inside league. What was the inside league? The Arena Football League.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys used to go crazy and nuts and stuff. It's like the same thing. The showboating, just act like you've been there before. Move on.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for Paul Petrisco for sending us those videos. I do appreciate it. And as always, we do appreciate our prior players and former players that have come onto the show. And obviously we're paying a little tribute to Paul and to Bill Krug. And so I've got a view of the probably the hardest hits this week. I know there was a ton of them because there were so many games, but you can't get them all in, but this is just a few.
They're showing blitz. Looked like Williams was offside. There is a flag down. Klubnik gets
3 years as the head coach at South Alabama. Worked with DeBoer at Indiana. Pressure on Finley and slam.
You're going to see number 3, TJ Parker, loop around inside. Really well timed with the stun. He gets a free run right at Carson Beck and delivers a big shot to force the ball out of Beck's hands quickly.
Milroe to throw on second down. In trouble. Fumbles the ball and got it back at the 27-yard line.
this was an issue a season ago. Too many sacks taken by Jalen Milroe. Something that he told us yesterday he spent a lot of time on.
Short pitch, Johnson, left side. Johnson adds the shoulder at the end.
You hear these last 2 runs, he certainly does do that. But talk about not shying away.
Those were pretty good shots there. I know Carson took one really hard hit when he delivered his pass, but those are just a few for the week. And I do apologize, guys, for the technical difficulties tonight. We'll get this stuff fixed. But Hunter sent us a message here. He said 2 unsportsmanlike gets you ejected. Since one was personal and one was unsportsmanlike, he was allowed to remain in the game. Good deal. Well, good deal. Any comments about those, Matt?
Nope, they were good. It's good seeing people get smacked around a little bit. It was good to see football back on TV again, and it's just it's all good. And it's getting the temperature's getting down a little bit cooler. They're not cool yet, but they're getting there. It's nice. The air is changing, y'all. This fall's coming. It's so exciting. Enjoy it. We say it every year. Enjoy these days. Enjoy these games because they are so short-lived, and then you'll be begging for it when it comes summertime. So let's just enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Not even kidding there. I watched football all day Saturday, and it seemed like that day flew by.
Yeah. Facts.
Well, guys, we are at that time where we have got to preview the next week's game. What do you say? You ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
I know our fan base will be loud and proud. We had some great matchups last year here at home, and I thought they really affected the game. We wanted to be louder than that. We wanted to be there earlier than that.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your blood runs red and black. Get on your feet. Let's make some Central Stadium noise for our
All right, guys. Tennessee Tech. They're coming to town. They're coming for approximately $550,000 to come play the Georgia Bulldogs between the hedges. And I know this week that the head coach, he was really not excited about coming to play the number 1 team in the nation. However, he knows that's part of the deal. It's part of the necessities to continue his program and to have a paycheck for his staff is these types of games. And so we'll definitely be expecting their best output, but obviously we'll walk away with the win. All right, well, I am stumbling all over myself, and I apologize, y'all. I know this is not going the way we wanted it to go, but sometimes it just is what it is. Technology just doesn't want to cooperate. So, Matt, I'll let you jump in here and take over and talk a little bit about the offense.
Yeah, just kind of reiterate some things you're saying about the coach they have there. This is his first year head coach. He came out of retirement to coach this team. I would listen to his he had like a conference call where he talked to some of the reporters and got some of the UGA reporters even to answer questions. And like Brian's saying, he was nothing but saying how great Georgia is, how much he respects and appreciates Kirby Smart, not only what he does for Georgia, but what he does for college football in general. He he calls him the spokesman for college football right now, one of the leaders for the sport. And so he was being real and honest and saying, yeah, pretty much like we don't have a shot, but it's good to go play the number. How many times can you go say you can play the number one team in the country, any sport? So he's appreciative of it, and it was really fun to listen to his conversation he had. So if we get into his players, this is a FC. I might like that right. This is a Division II, like AA kind of school. So SCS, right? And so they played a FBS school last year when they played Middle Tennessee State, Middle Tennessee last week. And they were down by 21 points at one point. And they came back and took the lead on this team. And they had all kinds of problems last week. And then they lost their starting quarterback in the first quarter. So they brought in their second guy off the bench, and he brought them back to like I said, took the lead. They lost the game in the last 16 seconds of the game. Really a heartbreak loss for them. But this team, even though they are an FCS team, they took a bowl team last year to the limit. So you really got to admire their heart they have. Not saying they're going to be able to take down us by no means, but if we remember a few years back, we played Clemson and we beat them. And our next game we had was another 2:00 game against Samford, and we looked very flat in that game too. So I really hope we come back out in this game and really be dominant. Get our Beck and the starters are done by halftime, and we really get to see Gunner starting out there actually running the full offense like we did against Florida State. Not just hand the ball up, but he actually gets to go out and work on his skill set, work on his route running with his players, and really gets to take hold of the offense. But as we get into their offense here, this is their starting quarterback now is Potts, Jordan Potts. He had about 256 yards last week with 3 touchdowns. No interceptions. Come off the bench, did pretty well for them. Brought him back, so kudos to him. Don't know a lot about him. He played a little bit last year, and this entire offense is almost brand new. The team and probably Kevin will say the same thing. Their team is almost brand new with a new coaching change they had, with also transfers going out and transfers coming in. So it was really hard to find stats of people who were here last year to see how they were playing. But these are top 3 players that I have from the previous game. Not great stats on these guys, but it's still season's still early and they're still new to the program. But yeah, we got Potts here at quarterback, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, pretty good, no interceptions. We have Mitchell as a running back. He had 52 yards. Only rushed like 12 times. So it's kind of hard to get a real gauge for him because they were so far behind, 21 points down. They really didn't do a lot of running with the ball to catch back up in that game. And then here's the wide receiver, Lincolns. He had 7 receptions for 61 yards last week. They have another receiver as well that had fewer catches, but he had 2 touchdowns. So he's a little bit smaller guy. But he was just a quick little guy who got in the end zone pretty much for them on that spectrum. So these are their main players they have, and so that we'll see how our defense can really shut them down and continue that no touchdown streak for us. I'll go ahead and give it over to Kevin for defense.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was very difficult to find players, and their stats and how they were going to stack up. And like you said, I did notice a lot of these guys are transfers from other schools. They're coming in and they're trying to build this program. This new head coach, like you said, we listened to his interview. He's very humble. He's very praiseworthy of Kirby Smart and the program that he's built here at UGA. So he knows the gauntlet that he's facing, and he is, he's not mincing words about it. He just wants to come in and, he said, play Tennessee Tech football. So I commend him for that. But yeah, these are 3 guys that I found. Just gonna highlight them real quick. This first one here is Daniel Rickert. He is a junior out of Nashville, Tennessee. Last year, he was a redshirt sophomore, but he finished the year with 49 tackles, 32 solo, and 17 assists. with 9 sacks for a loss of 43 yards total. And he had 2 fumble recoveries last year. So this is a guy, he earned all Big South OVC first team honors with the 47 tackles and 9 sacks. So this guy is a highly touted individual in his league there. Last week he only had 1 total tackle, but he seems like he's a very they feel like he's a very high prospect and he's going to make a big difference on that defensive line. The next one is Aaron Swafford. He is actually a transfer player. He's coming from Navy. Last season, he had played in 11 games. He had 72 total tackles, 27 was solo, and 45 assists. He is a new player for this defense. Once again, I want to kind of back up because I skipped something. The defensive coordinator is also new. He's Greg Jones. He is coming from Garner Webb. So all these coaches and players, they seem to be new players. They're trying to build this program. So it's very, very early on in this program's existence. Last week when Aaron Swafford, he was playing in Middle Tennessee, he had 8 total tackles, 3 solo, and he had 1 sack. So this guy, he's a difference maker. He's going to get through that line, or at least he's going to attempt to get through the line and try to get after the quarterback and disrupt Beck's timing. Then the next fellow I've got is Caldra Wilford. He is actually a sophomore this year, and last year he was a redshirt freshman, but still saw playing time all through the season last year. He is actually coming from Murray State. He transferred into Tennessee Tech. Last year he had 45 tackles and 1 sack. And then last week he had 7 total tackles and 5 solo and 2 assists, and he had 1 interception that game. So this guy is going to be one of those individuals that is looking to make a name for himself. He's obviously already transferring up to a more competitive school. And these are the guys that we got so far, and we're going to see what they can do. I know last week they allowed 328 yards of offense against 328 yards of offense against Middle Tennessee. So it's going to be a gauntlet for these guys to face UGA. It really is, but I commend them for coming in and giving it a go.
Good deal. Good deal. Appreciate that, Kevin. You were doing a lot better than I am. I'm just on the struggle bus.
You're doing fine, buddy.
All right. Well, the professor has his lesson for us. I couldn't get it to upload, but I think I figured out another way to make it work. So we are going to give it a shot. So let me try a different way to work around this and see if she'll work. Is it showing up? There it is. All right, here we go.
Good morning, Middle Georgia Dawgpound. Today is Thursday. Tonight we're going to have our podcast, and our formidable team of the Whiteheads and the Judd, Mr. Judd, are going to give us the game plan and a little flashback on what happened during Georgia-Clemson. If you remember, we talked about the dog won't hunt, and obviously the dog did hunt well. Unfortunately, bless their heart, another idiom colloquialism that is used a lot that I learned in Alabama with my stay over there for 4 years once while I lived in Tuscaloosa. And that was prior to getting Kirby out of Tuscaloosa. That was my assignment. This is the professor coming to you today. Want to go over a couple little things here, a little bit of history. I did mention about the word dog. That dog won't hunt dating back into the 1940s during an election year. But as far as the word, its meaning, and so forth, it was typically used as a negativity, calling someone a dog or referring to them in a way that was not very endearing. But the word dog, D-A-W-G, was first used. It indicates that somebody is uneducated. And we turned that into something much different at the University of Georgia, obviously. That slang dogs dated back to the 1980s. How about them dogs, ABC? And Keith Jackson and several others made it something that has stuck with us. Prior to that, we had Jim Croce and the Junkyard Dogs, Meaner Than a Junkyard Dog, which James Brown's took to another level, and Irk Russell themed the 1976 team, the Junkyard Dogs, and from that came something that stuck all through the Dooley years. And unfortunately, that has kind of gone away, but our defense is quite stellar, to say the least. As far as things go with the history of the word dog or dogs or Dooley's dogs or how about them dogs, Dooley's tenure was from 1964 to 1988. Going back before that, Dooley's dogs, that's what kind of they put on the buses while they took players to the stadium to play along the tracks. And prior to that, in 1901, the word bulldog started to come into play. Actually, they called them eat 'em, and they used that. But in 1920, some sports writer when we were playing Auburn came up with the word bulldogs. So it gives you a little bit of history. But today, the word dog, D-A-W-G, is used rather than D-O-G-S. And dog means a dude, a bud, a pal, typically used by the media towards males and referring to them as a friend. We are going to be playing this week Tennessee Technical College, and to give you a little bit of brief history on those, they also were known as the University of Dixie in 1909 through 1915. They changed the name to Tennessee Polytechnical Institute in 1915 through 1965. They're out of Cookeville, Tennessee, which is sandwiched right between Nashville and Knoxville in the upper north side of the state. It's a small school, and again, bless their heart for coming the dogs. I understand it's a $500,000 paycheck that we're paying them to come play. I'm looking forward to a wonderful game. I don't know what the line is, but I'm sure the dogs are going to do well and play a lot of people. By the way, participation chart against Clemson, we played 65 players, 12 real freshmen, 5 more redshirt freshmen, to a total of 17 is what the number that I have found to be true. We played a lot of youth, and we look really good. We're going to get a lot of players back, and I'm going to leave this up to our Dawgpound, bringing you the pregame and the postgame remarks and the predictions. I want you to tell you, have a great time. I'll be up there Saturday enjoying it with my friend Jack Joyner. We seat in section 126, row 56, seats 25 and 26. If you're nearby, come on by, and I'll buy you a hot dog and a Coke. Go Dogs. Thank you.
Oh, always thank you to the professor.
He better bring that checkbook. You're going to have all kinds of folks up in their place now looking for free food.
Yes, he is.
Mr. Whitehead, you back?
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute him for himself, but I can't get him unmuted.
It's going to be one of those nights, y'all. It's
go.
going to be one of those nights. It is what it is. So So my phone died. So that's what I was on, and it died in the middle of that. So how about them apples?
That's right.
All right. Well, we are at that point now where we should get into our game picks. Let me see if I can reshare my screen here so we can get our PowerPoint back up. All right. So at the end of week 1, I am in the lead here, 4-1. Kevin is tailing up the rear, and Matt is right there in the middle in striking distance. So let's see how things go this week and how things prevail. So the first set of games is Kentucky against South Carolina. So guys, give us your predictions on this one. We'd love to hear your comments. So jump in. Hunter, we'd like to hear what you got to say. Mr. Khaki, give us your predictions, folks. I'm going to go Kentucky on this one. I think Kentucky wins this handedly. I think they are going to win by 2 touchdowns. And Grady Darcy says we need to quit hiring Georgia Tech IT people. Yeah. This is called the Lizella Podunk internet. And so that's all I could say about that, Grady. This is pretty dang bad, dude. My internet is just tanking out here tonight. So I don't understand what's going on, but it just is what it is. John Akaki says Kentucky, yes, 24-21. Grady Darcy says Kentucky by 24. Wow. That's huge. I don't even know what the line is, guys. Maybe somebody else knows. I still having technical difficulties. But Matt, what you got on your prediction there, buddy?
I'm going to follow suit with you. I think the Kentucky is going to handle it pretty well. I know they had both. South Carolina just struggled last week, like on the struggle bus along with us, barely beating Old Dominion. Now, Old Dominion could end up winning the FCS national championship for all we know, and they're just a really good team. They came out to play, and South Carolina just wasn't prepared for it. But their quarterback was not impressive, and so I just do it up against quarterbacks and against defense. By far, Kentucky will beat them handedly. I'm not worried about it whatsoever.
Hunter says Kentucky 28-14. Yeah, that's about what I think too. Kevin, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I was trying to get us the line there, and I hadn't been able to find it while Matt was giving his prediction. Here it is. The spread is 8.5 points favoring Kentucky. So I can't go. I just don't see South Carolina being very much of anything this year. So it's going to be a 2 touchdown win for them.
All right, Arizona State versus Mississippi State. Matt, what made you choose this game?
Because I just don't think either one of these teams are very good, so it could be a complete disaster. And it's just going to be a tough pick. That's the main thing. It's more about it's more about not about the highlight games or the big games. It's more about the teams that be tough to pick on. And so we just still don't know what we got from either one of these teams. And I'm still going to continue my SEC dominance there with the Mississippi State, but easily could lose this game. I don't think Mississippi State's very good this year. I would have them definitely having a losing season, but this could be a game that they pull out, and so I'm rooting for them. The cowbell, more cowbell.
Is this game and Mississippi State?
No,
I think it's Arizona State.
Yeah. Wow. All right, I'm gonna. Ooh.
5.5 points favoring Arizona, by the way.
I'm going Arizona then. It's going to be close. 3-point game. Come down to the last few seconds. I'm going Arizona. All right, Kevin?
I'm also going Arizona on this game. This one is going to be a tight game, but I'm like you, Brian, with it. With it being out in Arizona, if it was at Mississippi, I would go the other direction, but it's not. It's out in Arizona. It's actually a 10:30 Eastern game.
No, Lord.
So they're gonna have jet lag and all that going out there to Arizona to play, and I just don't see them winning this game.
Let's see. So Hunter says Arizona State 25 to 24. Grady says this is a bad game. State by 9. And then John Akaki says not sure. Maybe 4 overtime win for Mississippi State, 21 to 18. Mississippi MSU always has a tough defensive line. Yeah, I'm just not sure about that one, guys. That one's a tough pick for me. Of course, I picked LSU to beat USC, and I should have just stuck with my gut and went with USC, and I would have been 4-0, 5-0 on that on the pick'ems.
Yeah, you would.
All right. Well, this one's going to be fun. I think this is going to be a complete slaughter. Nebraska against Colorado. I can tell you right now, I'm going Nebraska all the way, 100%. It isn't even going to be close. Colorado is going to be so embarrassed after getting beat by the Cornhuskers.
Yeah.
Matt?
Yeah, I'm going
or
to go
Kevin,
Nebraska
jump in.
too.
Whoever wants to do it.
I'm also going to pick Nebraska. I think that's a consensus across the board. We're all picking Nebraska. That the spread on that one is 7 points favoring Nebraska.
Yeah, I just don't think if
Yeah.
Colorado shows like it did last week, it's just going to be terrible. They were struggling to beat North Dakota State last week, and I know North Dakota State's a good team, and they give people Fritz all the time. I get that, but like it's just this to me is an emotional pick. I don't even care that Raiola went to Nebraska. Good for him, great buddy. You're starting, awesome. You got paid, you did your job. I just want to see Prime fail on everything. He is a jerk, and I want to see him fail. And that's maybe why they're going to win, because I'm rooting against him. And the Lord's going to say, Matt, that's not what I'm asking you to do in the world, so they're going to win now. So God knows what's going to happen. So we'll find out.
Oh, man.
Grady says Nebraska by 24. John Akaki says Colorado 41 to 21. Dion press conference, the highlight. Okay.
Is he going to talk? Is he going to take questions at that press conference? Or is he going to tell everybody he's not talking to them?
I mean, as long as it's not CBS, he's okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Dad says we left him at pickleball. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. We had to go. Hunter Ivy says high scoring game. I picked Colorado last year to beat TCU, and they did. Give me Colorado by 3. Interesting. I just don't see it. I don't think it's going to be close. All right. NC State and Tennessee. Now, this one should be fun. This is in North Carolina, if I'm correct. And NC State picked up that quarterback, Grayson McCall, right, that we talked about earlier in the season. This one's gonna be tough. This one's gonna be tough. Kevin, you want to take the first pick on this one?
Oh, I will. The beginning of the season, I really felt like Tennessee was going to have no trouble with NC State, and it still may be that way because the line is favoring Tennessee by 10. But it's at NC State. It is a night game. It's 7:30 Eastern. And I don't know. Everything is telling me to go with Tennessee, but
then go with Tennessee because that's what I'm going to do.
It would just be
Don't
great
boss him around
to watch NC State beat.
Trying to help him out,
but I know I'm just going to go with Tennessee and stick to my guns. That's what I picked at the beginning of the season. I'm going to pick Tennessee. It's probably going to be by 10 points, and that's all it's going to be. I'm going to say 41-31 on Tennessee.
So, Brian, you've already picked Tennessee, correct?
Yeah, I think he froze up. Yeah, but he did pick Tennessee. He said that's what he was going to go with.
Yep. And so here's where I'm at. I said at the beginning of the year that Tennessee's defense is going to be terrible. They're only returning 3 starters. Yeah, they got a couple guys transferred in, but they're going to be terrible on defense, in my opinion. But look at last week's game. NC State was not ready to play. They struggled against once again, a lower caliber team, and they just struggled there at home. So I think Tennessee is still going to be, a facade for a little bit. They're going to look like they're world beaters. They're going to try to score a bunch of points, but it will show up when they get into league play that they're not very good, in my opinion. I think they're a 3 to 4 loss team, but I think they'll win this game. So, because ACC is just struggling right now, they are not playing well. So I'm going to continue with my SEC bias and see if they can pull that one out. What kind of comments we have there going on?
Hunter Ivy says, I hate orange. I like it. NC State 28-24. John Akaki says NC State 37-30.
People got to remember last year's NC State team that was much better lost a lot of their players to the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of their players.
Dad says just don't pick Florida for anything. Don't worry. Don't worry.
What worries me is last week when they were playing Western Carolina, they were struggling up until like the fourth quarter, and then they kind of sort of pulled away. They beat Western Carolina 38-21. That's NC State. That's why I just can't bring myself to pick NC State.
Yep.
All right. Well, Texas and Michigan. I'll take this one. Texas is going to win handedly. I think you're going to get to see Mr. Manning play some, but I definitely think this one's going to be a blowout. I don't even have a score prediction, but it's going to be a lot. Matt?
I agree with you. I'm going to continue, like I said, go through my complete SEC pick prediction for all SEC teams to win it. Michigan's not good. They're being ranked this high this early in the season is a joke, and it's going to show up on. I'm not saying Texas are world beaters. Don't get me wrong, but Michigan is not good. When you have 2 quarterbacks, you have 0 quarterbacks, and that's what they're running right now. They're running a 2 quarterback system. And we're going to see that crap look embarrassing this year. Now, they may score a few long runs by somebody to put some points on the board against Texas. But I'm telling you, Michigan is not good this year. They are not very good. They lost all their players. They built up for those years and held on to them. And then they had their top of the mountain, and they're coming back down that other side. So, Texas, like you said, Brian, by a lot.
Akaki says Texas 44-20. Grady says horns down by 17. What do you think, Kevin?
Well, you say it's a lot. Texas is only favored by 7.5 points.
That's crazy.
If it was snowing outside Michigan, I'd say yes.
But
it's not.
It's going to be. It is going to be 58 degrees. That's not that cold, but and it's playing in Michigan. It's still a tough place to play. It's going to be loud. It's going to be raucous. I don't know. I'm going to go with Michigan in this one.
Oh, my gosh. We're wasting a pick.
I'm going to go Michigan. It's going to be a close one. And Michigan by 3.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I don't see that happening. But let's see. Hunter Ivy says burnt orange is still orange. Give me Michigan by 7.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Like it.
The other game I wanted to add, and I never had a chance to, I was going to throw in Tech. Her little brothers are playing Syracuse this weekend in Syracuse, so that should be a really good game to watch if you guys get an opportunity. But we'll get it.
Guys there.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Tennessee Tech versus Georgia. I think the spread's something like 42 points or something, or 52 points. It's a crazy number. We will not cover the spread at all. So obviously Georgia's going to win. But how many points does Tennessee Tech score, guys?
So I have my score. I'm going with 55-6.
Wow. I was going to say 42-3 or 42-0. I'm going to go nothing. 42-0.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm also going to put the goose egg on Tennessee Tech, but it's going to be closer to 50 points. I think. I think the backups are going to come in for Georgia to try to show what they've got, and they're going to put up. They're going to put up at least 14 points themselves. At least, if not more.
So what are you saying? I'm
going to say 48-0.
All right.
I like it. I like it. I like
it. Take all those answers.
Hunter Ivy says UGA 52-0. Grady says I get 65 yards and a punt return for a TD, 38-0. We play people from the stands in the second half.
I hope not. On the field.
John Akaki says Dogs by 50 plus 57-0. I like it. I like it. Well, guys, y'all haven't.
Hold on. Yeah. John Akaki has one more thing to say here. Hold on. Wait. No. Wait. No. Quit playing with me, Ron. You see this, right? The professor has spoken.
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
Kevin will win this year's Pick'em.
Oh, wow. Man, he's been drinking late tonight.
You heard it first.
And last.
Has spoken.
Well, it came down to the very last game for me and Matt last year, and I pulled it out right at the very end.
Yeah. So what's the weather going to be like in Athens this week? I know it's supposed to rain tomorrow, maybe Saturday morning. So what's the weather supposed to be like? Do we know?
I don't, but I can try to look it up and tell you.
I'll find it.
I thought there was supposed to be some rain maybe coming tomorrow, maybe Saturday morning, but I wasn't sure.
Saturday, high of 82.
Any
it's
rain?
Supposed to be partly cloudy.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah, be good.
It'll be fine. Be good.
No
be good. That's right. That's right. Well, guys, there was a thing I was going to say, something I was going to mention before all heck broke loose on this thing, but we talked a lot about Arian Smith, y'all, for years. And then last year, we really thought last year was going to be his breakout season. But God almighty, did he not look good this weekend, man. He looks so good. And he is a definition of a DGD, in my opinion. Somebody who has stuck it out through adversity. I mean, he had like 2 broken legs and just one thing after the other, right? And then last year, it was more of his nerves, I think, and confidence issues. And to see them just go to the well with him every single play, it seemed like, and used him in so many different ways. I just cannot say more about the guy. I'm so happy for him. And I think John Akaki said it after the game. He says that guy could play in the NFL, and I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. John says he's a gutsy player now. Yep, absolutely. Well, guys, any final comments? Anything else you want to cover before we get off this thing? We're already 5-6 minutes over.
Just I'm excited about the season. I'm excited. This sounds bad. I'm excited to see the second half with all the new faces and guys playing. I mean, I love our starter. I love them scoring 40 points in the first half. It may happen, but watching those other guys get early reps in the season, just like the professor said, we had 17 new faces out there playing last week against a good opponent. We're going to see even more this week, and we're going to need that experience when we go into Lexington in the following week. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yep, totally agree. Totally agree. Kevin, you got anything, buddy?
I'm just glad to be back on here talking football again this week, man. It's good, man. We wait so long, and we're doing it again. Wait so long in the off season.
Yep, I totally agree. And now that we're getting ready to get off the show, everything is working great. That's the way it goes. I don't know. It's the way it goes, man. Thursday night shows are just terrible, I think, for my internet for some crazy reason. But anyway, Well, guys, we'll be back on here next week, and I believe it may be a Friday night show if my memory serves me correct. And we'll be back Friday, and hopefully we'll have no issues. But let me see if I can get the Krypton to play. Can y'all hear me? Okay. All right, guys. Between the hedges this weekend, for the first time on the 2024 season, the Dogs are taking on Tennessee Tech, Golden Eagles. But we know we're going to come out with a win. There's no question there. Let's pray that these guys don't get hurt, and we all be ready for next week. But, hey, I'm Brian. This is Mr. Matt, the four-finger wonder. Kevin, we're the Middle Georgia Dawgpound. We love you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.